All right, make sure you have your date and title, 3.4 parallel and perpendicular slopes. Let's go ahead and get this written down, parallel slopes and perpendicular. Don't worry about writing this part or this. Make sure you write everything else. All right, so make sure you write this down. Don't just write 1 through 7. And make sure if you still don't know what each of these little symbols means, parallel, perpendicular, and stuff, make sure you write this. So number 1, like I said, I want to see, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So when I go through this, let's just start out. Angel, is 3/4 and -4/3, is that exactly the same? No. So they're not parallel, right? Chris, are they flipped, 3/4 and 1 4/3? Yes, they are flipped. And then Lucas is 1 positive, 1 negative? Yeah. So it flipped, one's positive, 1 negative. Class, what does that make this one?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. So I'm just going to write the symbol perpendicular. Next, Mateo. Is 10 and 1/10 the same? What's that? No. Okay, so they're not parallel. Brady, is 10 and 1/10 flipped? See if you can get this. Yes, very good. Because 10, it can technically be put over what?
10 over 1.
You can make a whole number over 1, right? So 10 over 1 and 1/10 are flipped. But Jules, is 1 positive, 1 negative? No. So what's this one going to be, class?
Neither.
Neither. All right. Luis, just go ahead and tell me, number 3. Is that parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Okay. What makes it not parallel? No, for parallel.
Oh, negative.
Okay, because one's positive, one's negative, so they can't be parallel, so they're not exactly the same. And then you already said it for perpendicular, they're not flipped, right? So perpendicular has to be flipped, so it's neither. Okay. Roman, number 4. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither?
Neither.
Neither? What keeps this one from being perpendicular?
One of them is not negative.
Okay, you got 2 positive ones, right? Okay. Hernan, number 5. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Perpendicular? Correct. What makes it perpendicular? They're flipped and
Negative.
one's negative and one's positive. Good. Okay. Mandy, number 6. Neither. What's keeping it from being perpendicular? I mean, they're flipped. Correct. One of them's not negative. Okay. And then Monica, number 7. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So let's ask it, is 5 over 7 and 5 over 7 the exact same? Yeah, so what's that one going to make it? Not perpendicular, the other one. Because remember, the exact same is going to be the parallel, right? Okay. So yeah, if they're exactly the same, they're going to be parallel. All right, any questions? All right, draw this one out. So does anybody know how we're going to be able to tell if these are parallel, perpendicular, or neither? What do we need to do first?
We've got to pull out the points. We've got to write them out.
The points?
The HGAB.
So you don't have to. What do we need to find, though, on each line?
Slope.
Slope. Okay. Now you can, like, if you want to pull the points out and then do the formula. But what's the other way we can find slope when we have it drawn?
Rise over run.
Rise over run, right? Okay. To me, it's a lot easier to do it that way. So we want to find, remember, M stands for slope, the slope of line HG. Then we want to find the slope of the other one, which is line AB. All right, so we do rise over runs on HG. What's my rise here on HG? 3. And then how many over or run?
2.
2. So it's 3 over 2. And is that a positive or negative slope? Negative. Okay. And can that be reduced anymore? 3 over 2?
No.
No. That's reduced as much as possible. So that's our slope there. So there's one answer. On your worksheet, it does want you to find like what is each slope and then tell me is it parallel or is it perpendicular or what. So you're going to have 3 answers on the worksheet. All right, then the next one, AB. What is the rise on it?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3.
2.
And then 2 for the run. 2.
They're the exact same, because it's a negative slope,
It's a negative slope as well, so it's negative 3 over 2.
so it's parallel.
Do y'all agree with them? Yep, they're both exactly the same, negative 3 over 2, negative 3 over 2, so it is parallel. So 3 answers. So copy this one down. Let's do this. So we need to find the slope of line HG and the slope of line AB. So Paula, tell me the slope. Find the slope of HG, and Angie, find the slope of AB.
5 over 3.
So HG is 5 over 3. So let's see. HG is 1, 2, 3, and 2. Oh, you did the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so HG is 3 over 2. And is that positive or negative, class?
Positive.
Positive on HG. Okay. Angie, you got AB? So, because remember it's AB is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 4 over 6. Is that negative or positive, class?
Negative.
Negative. Can that be reduced?
Yes.
To what?
1/2.
Nope.
Oh wait.
2/3.
Yeah, that.
So I have 3/2. I have negative 2/3. And is this parallel, perpendicular, or neither?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Because they're flipped, and one's positive and one's negative. All right. So once we found the original slope, step 2 is find the perpendicular or parallel slope. Okay? So it just depends on what they ask you for. What do they ask us for on this one? The perpendicular, right? So the original one was 3 over 2. Now I need to find the perpendicular one. But real quick, what does this symbol here mean? Perpendicular. What does this one mean? What is it?
Parallel.
Parallel. Okay. So we need to find the perpendicular slope. So if the original was 3 over 2, what do I need to do to find the perpendicular one?
Flip it.
Flip it. So the first thing is we want to flip it, so that's going to make it what? 2 over 3. And then what's the last thing? So change the sign, right? If it's positive, make it negative. So our perpendicular slope is negative 2 over 3. Question so far? And then the last thing we do here is graph it. So it says the perpendicular to line AB that passes through point P. So that means that we're starting at point P and we're going to use our perpendicular slope, which we said was what? Negative 2 over 3. Now we just have to do the rise over run from P. Use that negative 2 over 3 and figure out where a second point is. So that negative, I can either assign it to the 2 or the 3. It doesn't matter. You just pick. Do you want to put it on the top one or on the bottom one? I personally would just throw it on the top one. Okay, so the rise is -2. If it's negative on the rise, is that going up or down? Down. Your negative always goes down, right? So we're going down 1, 2, -2. And then what's my run? 3. Is that to the right or to the left? To the right, because it's +3. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of it, put your point. All right, when you do this, you got to mark where that other point is. So once you found your other point, then you simply draw a line through it. Make sure your line goes all the way through each point and has arrows on each end. Okay, it's got to go all the way through it and has arrows. Don't put the arrow right on top of the point. That's not how you draw a line. The points are always within it. And that's it on that. You're just graphing it. So real quick overview. Find the slope of the original line. Then either find the perpendicular or the parallel one, depending on which one. On your worksheet, it asks for both, so make sure you read the directions. Once you found the perpendicular or parallel slope, just start at the point they told you to start at and do your rise over run from it with your new slope. Put one extra point and then draw your line. On your test on Thursday, if you do not actually draw another little point, I'll count it wrong. Because basically, like, I don't want you to, don't just look at it and say, oh, I'll just draw what looks like a perpendicular line. No, you need to have a second point actually, marked on there. Does that make sense? All right.